This afternoon we're at the Greenyards at Melrose for the Scottish Hydroelectric Cup quarter-final clash between Ayr and Melrose, arguably the two best club sides in Scotland. Ayr, now Premier 1 champions. Melrose, coached by Craig Chalmers, current holders of the Scottish Hydroelectric Cup. And I tell you what, they're not going to give that up lightly this afternoon. Melrose beat Ayr 26 points to 21 at the Greenyards in the league match, but Ayr won comfortably up at Melrose, so home advantage could count for an awful lot this afternoon. 5 minutes gone. Melrose giving the ball a bit of air. James Lew taking the ball up to the 10-metre line. Fair bit of possession for Melrose early on. Richard Higgins bumping through there. Ayr defence looking pretty solid, giving nothing away until a penalty. Up steps Scott White, did what he does so well and opened the scoring for Melrose with that penalty in 5 minutes. Perfect conditions for open rugby and both sides giving the ball plenty of air. Scott Forrest, the Scotland Sevens captain there, taking the ball right into the heart of the Melrose defence. Support from Gordon Reid and Damien Kelly. Ball coming back to one of Forrest's Sevens colleagues there, Grant Anderson at scrum half. They're going through the phases, happy to probe away at the Melrose defence, looking for an opening. Ball spurting out there, tidied up by Stuart Magorian, hauled down by Richard Higgins, but coming in from the sides, referee Graham Knox. Up step Brazier Climo, and after 10 minutes, 3-all. There's only a couple of minutes later though. Although we're putting a bit of pressure on the Melrose defence, they managed to juggle that ball away, take it into the Ayr half, and a penalty again. Long range effort for Scott White, certainly had the distance, and via the post he had the accuracy as well. 6-3 to Melrose, but then with 18 minutes gone, lovely wee offload out the back door there by Gordon Reid, tidied up by Paul Burke. Damien Kelly in there, in support. The Ayr bench getting quite animated there as they give the directions to where the boys should go. Certainly Jeff Wilson knew where to go, heading straight for the line. Hauled down by Bill Wallace. Ball kept alive. Stuart Magorian cutting in field and getting a wee bit untidy and made it solid again. Watch that number one, ambling slowly up, looking for a space, finds it, and Gordon Reid, number one man for Ayr, plunges over the line, taking Ayr into an 8-6 lead after 18 minutes. 25 minutes gone. Ayr scrum, Ayr possession, out to Climo, looking for a wee break, knocked over by Scott White, ball goes to ground. Number 8, Ross Miller, the Melrose link man. The ball, reaching flanker John Dalziel, chip ahead, Callum Anderson in pursuit. Now was it a wee touch offside? Didn't matter, he got the bounce, he got the try, he got the 5 points for Melrose, taking them back into the lead with Scott White's conversion to come from the touchline. What a welly he gave that one. 15 points to 8 with 25 minutes gone. 7 minutes to half time. Ayr scrum, but Ayr backs hardly getting any momentum at all against a very, very well organised Melrose defence. Stuart Magorian taken out just outside the Ayr 22. Graham Knox, his arm is up. Penalty again to Melrose. Thanks very much, says Scott White. That's another one in the bag. 16 points to 8. and they were pulling away just a wee bit with the home side. Here we're going to have to get something back before half-time, and eventually they did, with no time left on the clock. Not rolling away is Graham Knox. Up step Climo, straight between the posts. So only 5 points in it going into the second half. It was still anybody's game. Into the second half here, knew they would have to get something on the board fairly quickly, and they did. Interesting line out offence, that one. Chatting back to the referee. Not often you see that. Didn't matter. Up step Climo, reduced the margin to 2 points, and with only 5 minutes of the second half gone, terrific bust there by Stuart Fennick. Hauled down, but here keeping the ball alive, John Dale taking out Grant Anderson, but a penalty again to Ayr on the 10-metre line. Climo straight through the post, 17-16 to Ayr. What an exhibition of kicking by both the Melrose and the Ayr man. Terrific stuff. Stuart McGorry and a wee nudge there on Jordan Macy's head. Chip across field, marked by Ayr, but no, that was a high tackle to Graham Knox. Penalty to Melrose, sin bin for McGorrian. And 3 points to Melrose, taking them back into the lead. Nip and tuck. I tell you what, this wasn't for the faint-hearted. The Valium was being passed around in the stand like Smarties. Grant Anderson, not the best kick you've ever seen out of defence. The ball worked out to hooker Wayne Mitchell. Chip ahead there, Jeff Wilson's got it covered. Oh no, he hasn't. A cruel bounce for Ayr. A magical one for Jordan Macy. Oh yes, that could well be the clincher. And in a cup tie, it's a bounce like that can win the game for you, particularly when you've got a man like Scott White. Absolute dead eye with those kicks. 5 minutes to go, and Ayr have been in this position in the cup this season already against Curry, where they pulled it back and the last minute to a draw and then won in injury time. But today they're up against a rock-solid Melrose defence. Damien Kelly pulled down there by Ross Miller. Out to Andy Wilson. Wilson pulled down by James Lew. Well, the Melrose boys missing no tackles at all. Glenn Tippett taken out there. Ball switched out to Climo. Climo looking to get his midfield moving. Scott Forrest knocked over by John Dale. And the ball coming back on the other side. Oh, a rush of blood to the head there by Jonathan Bradburn. Here, moving the ball out wide. Still looking for a chink in that Melrose defence. Pat MacArthur taking the ball on, going nowhere. So let's bring it back for the penalties at Graham Knox. Climo bagging his 15th point of the afternoon with that one. So with 5 minutes to go, Ayr needing a converted try to take the cup away from the clutches of the men in the Greenyards. Piling the pressure on in the Melrose red zone. Melrose defending out of their skins, determined to keep their line intact, thwarting every effort Ayr were making round the fringes. Ayr throwing absolutely everything into a final push. But look at that drive. Was it going to get them over the line? It got them very, very close. But again, great defence by Melrose. Held up, said referee Graham Knox. And into the final play of the game. Scrum a wee bit scrappy. Picked up by Andy Dunlop. And oh, a wee nudge forward as he went to ground there. Knock on to Graham Knox, and then the whistle for full time. Delighted Melrose and dejected Ayr.
We knew it was going to be tough, you know, with them already wrapping up the league, you know, a couple of weeks ago. We knew it was going to be hard, but we've got the trophy in the cabinet from last year, and we're not going to give it up lightly, you know. So just a great effort from the guys, team performance. We dug it out well there at the end, you know, had to defend at the end, and guys' performance is just outstanding today.
So the Melrose defence of the cup continues. They've got a home tie in the semi-final against Haddington. And who would bet against them going all the way yet again at Murrayfield? A great game here at the Greenyards. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Melrose.